Hello, Facebook Livers. We're going to try this again. We had a few connectivity issues, so we're jumping back on in a different format to make sure that we can get this video out to you and share something truly important. I'm really passionate about helping people reach their full potential, and particularly people finding their voice, because one thing that I knew when I had to take the journey to find my own voice was that it unlocked a level of confidence and creativity in me that is beyond what I could have dreamed about. It also helped me to understand everything that I wanted to achieve many, many years ago, but struggled and strived and spent money on lessons and teachers and tried and pushed and got nowhere that I wanted to go. And with a completely different focus, I was able to truly understand the inside out nature of the voice, how the voice works, and more importantly, how we can tap into that inner voice in ourselves and become more creative, more artistic, more musical. And we don't have to spend thousands and thousands of pounds to do it. I've kind of maybe done that for you. Some of you might need to go and work at a higher level with somebody, but there is a time. So when I said is now the time, we have to look at is now the time for what? Is now the time to think about, taking your singing to a better place than you've been before. Now, what I mean by that is there are two choices always in life: stay the same or move. And that stay the same is where we're often looking for a tip. Okay, I'm going to get my pen here, right? If I just handed you this pen and said, right, I'm not actually going to hand you the pen to write with, I'm just going to hand you a tip. The tip of this pen is all you actually need to move forward. Okay, so we're just looking for tips. We go on, we're looking for a tip all the time, the tip to make the biggest difference. Well, the problem is if you actually don't have the rest of the pen and you don't understand what you're doing with the pen or how to write with the pen, me just handing you a tip is going to make absolutely no difference to you whatsoever. Now, the reason why this is an important metaphor for training and learning is that we view trying to gather information like tip gathering, okay? And the interesting thing about tip gathering is that we'll have all loads of tips but no pen and nothing to write with, because we haven't put the whole thing together as a meaningful whole so that we can move forward with it. So if you're just looking for tips because you're looking for another little thing that you're always seeking, that last little thing, the little magic wand that might actually just knock you over the edge to where you're going. If you're looking for the magic wand, the tip to I don't know, you're on a YouTube video on here right now, you're looking for a tip, you might be interested, you might be like, oh, what's she up to now? Then realise that the tip alone, without you actually having a pen and a whole structure behind it, is going to make no sense to you. So here's the type of person that actually works well with a tip. Okay, I'll do three tips, three top tips, how to make your voice, how to belt, in 3 tips. The reason why that's not possible for somebody starting off or an improver or somebody that hasn't studied to a high level is that you actually don't know how to integrate those 3 tips. They mean nothing. There's 3 tips plus a whole structure behind it. So I could use a tip. Let's put it this way, I could use a tip. And the reason I could use a tip is because of all of the study. A tip for me is more like a tweak. So when I hear a tip, it's something I look at and go, oh, I could tweak that, or I could tweak this, and what effect, and I'm looking at the effect of that. But if you're just looking for a tip as a magic wand, you're going to be going around in circles all the time, which is maybe why you're not getting the results that you want to, or the understanding that you want to. Having gone through from 0 understanding to lots of understanding, I can totally help you with understanding what that journey is made of. It's made of certain information that you apply, that you experiment with, that you work out, that you monitor, and then you go experiment again, and you build and you build. So in other words, when I was working with people and mentors and studying all of these subjects, the things that I was doing, the exercises, the study that I was doing, actually really led me to become more teachable. So the issue was the things that they were asking me to tweak or to move were because I was teachable. Now, there's something really interesting to me about being teachable. Being teachable does not mean being duped. It does not mean that we've run around to, you know, every teacher known to man to be teachable. That's actually not teachable. We're looking for another tip. What teachable means is that you use a particular platform for a period of time and you squeeze the juice out of it and you learn what you need to learn and you stay there until you have discovered what you need to discover, whether it's through a particular mentor, a particular program, a particular way of doing things. So the reason why is now the time, I'm asking you, is now the time to be teachable? Is now the time to actually dig in and stop trying to sort of hide behind just having a go or just putting the resistance wall up, of actually not paying to study the thing that you don't yet know. Now, the reason why I'm passionate about being teachable is that being teachable requires you to interact with something, and whether it be exercises, a mentor, a program, it means that you have to open yourself up to new ideas and new understanding. And that's why I want to talk to you about one of the ladies that amazing singer. I'm hoping if I can get her on here so that you can hear her live and her journey with the Academy. But this lady is amazing. Okay, so I'm just going to read what she wrote in the Academy this week. So she wrote, I'm having a great practice week, almost got frustrated singing one of the songs yesterday, but then I did the next level exercises, okay, which are some of the exercises in the Academy, designed for a particular sort of area of the voice to work with. And so the beautiful thing about that is that she didn't need me. She could go in when she wanted to. She knew what she was picking and she could just go and do the work on it. And so she could do them in the pajamas if she wanted. So, but then I did the next level exercises and afterwards I felt my voice was much more free and connected. Yippee. I even had to make a song a semitone higher as the original key I sang in now feels a bit low. Thanks for all your help. I was up till late last night playing the guitar and singing last night because I was enjoying it so much. Do you know what? That is like serious music to my ears. The fact that somebody is enjoying learning, that they have got through struggles and striving and all sorts of stuff, and suddenly come out the other end and realise what being teachable is about, what learning is about, and the discovery of more of her voice. And I can't sort of convey to you the difference in her voice in the last few months of what she's been doing. But I did write back to her, so it's all on here. I did write back to her and it said, for those reading this, please note that Amy has been through a process herself. There was a frantic time, disengagement, lots of thinking, then seeing and not seeing, but simply coming back to see more and sing again and choose exercises. She's been able to tap into her mojo, her voice, and now her musical self knows which keys are needed because her voice is growing and changing. Hi, Helen, how you doing? And it's never instant, but it's always a reliable way to walk forward. And I asked her if she could share what was it in that process. So I don't think it really matters whether this is about singing, whether it's about speaking, whether it's about life. And I'm going to put some links in there that for the Academy. So if you're wanting to kind of get in touch with your voice, and see what you can discover in it, then this is absolutely the place to do that. We've got the resources, we've got weekly group calls, we've got Facebook Live training, and it's basically for less price per day than a Starbucks, okay? And so even a sandwich at Greg's or something. So there's so much in there. But what she actually wrote back, I so want to just jump on this Facebook Live and share it with you as a video for you to either watch live or watch afterwards, because she just put something here that I just thought, oh my goodness, this is what it's about. I just suddenly felt it was time. Everything feels right. I'm inspired and I know I need to make use of it while I'm feeling this way. There is a moment, isn't there, when we get a bit of inspiration. If we let that moment pass, then we often let an opportunity pass. Please don't let this opportunity to take advantage of jumping into the Academy or having a telephone call with me as to how I can help you move forward and get a plan working for you. Don't let this time slip away. If you know that you've been watching these or dancing on the fence for any length of time, please PM me. Or take the links that I will put in the Facebook Live afterwards in order to take that next step where you just discover more of what's possible. Because she said, I need to make use of it while I'm feeling this way. This group has been a huge help, and I've found that by being honest with myself about what I want, gosh, there's so much there. I could camp for a year. Being honest with myself about what I want and sharing this with the group has benefited me massively. I constantly compare myself to others. So, you know, she's a normal human being. I constantly compare myself with others. I don't feel good enough. And the amount of time I've spent putting myself down could have been spent in a more productive way. Let me just stop there. Gosh, and breathe. The time I've spent putting myself down could have been spent in a more productive way. I wish I'd have written that. Really wish I'd have written that myself. So I'm trying to break the mold I have set for myself. And you know what? It feels awesome. I've also found that having a goal or a gig to work towards has given my practice more purpose. We're all in this together and can support each other. And I'm forever grateful for this new enlightenment that I feel growing. I was tired of concentrating on what I'm not. So I've started concentrating on what I am, what I have, and what I could become. Oh my goodness. I was tired of concentrating on what I'm not, what I've started, what I am, and what I have, and what I could become. And that is why just looking for a tip is not what she's discovered. Through not having to spend that much money, but to be teachable and to be committed and to dive in and to stay with a group and to stay with a community and to stay being coached until she sees the result, which has probably taken her a lot less time than she's been struggling with over the few years. She has now started to see a massive turnaround, not just in how her voice works, but you see her voice works because she's seen how she works. She's shone the light on why it wasn't working, because singing is an inside-out job. It's 90% psychology to start with. And when we understand and we face up to what we really want and we start to get support and move towards that, the actual ability to see your wisdom, to see your absolute amazing voice and what you can do with yourself and what you can do with your voice, whether that be for pleasure or for profit, it absolutely makes no difference. What this girl has tapped into is an understanding so deeply profound that I absolutely want, not only do I want to share it with you, I want to impress upon you what's possible for you. I want to impress upon you that this is possible for you, because Amy is just like everybody else. She's like you, she's like me, except that she has been part of our community, and I've been able to support her, and everybody else in the community has been able to support her. And suddenly what is coming out is something that might not have seen the light of day had she not stayed and shared and worked on and kept coming back into the conversation and the support community and the training. So I just want to extend this to you as an offer, really. I'm going to put a link in here. We've got an offer on at the Academy to join, as we have now, the website has now gone live, so you can actually look at everything that we're doing in the Academy. You can have it drip fed month after month for you. So we've got lots of content on songs, on exercises. There's, unlike even a home study course where you've got no interaction, you've got the best of both worlds. You've got a group of people that will utterly support you because they're on their journey themselves. And they're seeing something new and fresh every single week. And how to overcome all of the challenges and all of that negative self-talk that completely gets in our way to sabotage us. And at the same time, there is a bank of resources that you can keep coming back to in your pajamas, day or night, that can help you to develop at the speed and the rate that you are able to do so. So you can go fast, you can go slow. This to me has been a revolution in being able to actually do this and speak to you on an online platform. When I started 20 years ago, 30 years ago probably actually, when I started that length of time ago, there was not the possibility of looking back on a video or being able to have resources or being able to ask a question in real time, in like nano time, over a messenger or over a Facebook post and get an instant help and get instant answers. That was not possible, but now it is. But the interesting thing about, because it's possible, there's less and less people wanting to do the amount of work that I used to see people prepared to do years ago because it wasn't possible. So if you're looking for a tip, but you haven't got the rest of the pen and you don't know how to write your own future as a vocalist, then please, please, please PM me. I'm going to put a link where you can just book a conversation with me, where at the end of that conversation, you will have a plan of moving forward. If it's the academy, I'll be able to show you it's the academy. If it's something different, I promise you, you will know at the end of that exactly what steps you need to take in the next 3 months so that you can start this new year coming up. Let's start new year before we get to New Year's resolutions. Let's start the process now with realizing that tips are great if we've already got the whole pen in place. But if we don't know how to write our vocal future, if we don't know how to write a vision, if we don't know how to make it plain, if we don't know how to run with it, as Amy was saying about putting the goals and getting them supported and measuring them, if you don't know how to do that, if you're floundering, if you have some specifics but you don't realize that you can get them faster and better, and we can write a new plan for you to actually get out there. Some of my private clients that I work with are now performing professionally within 6 months of working with me, and they weren't before. So there is a lot possible for you, okay? A lot possible for you, but you have to open yourself up to a new conversation, to a new way of looking at things, where we don't just seek constantly for the tip, that actually we realize that once we've got the whole pen in place, and that just means a program, a plan, a structure, and some support, then you can write your own future in a way that you never thought possible. So with that, I'm going to sign off, and I really look forward to hearing you. So if you've been watching anything that I've been doing for any length of time, then please watch this video again. Think about it, PM me or click on the links and book a call, or come and join us in the academy, because I promise you, you will not be disappointed. There is a whole heap of love for you out there. And as I said, you can write your own future very, very brilliantly from knowing what you want, getting support around that, getting the skill around that, becoming teachable around that. And then you are going to be doing exactly, or writing messages that you didn't think was possible either. So over and out, and I can't wait to hear from you.